Hello, I'm going to show you how I put these charms in my hair, and I'm also going to be talking about my favorite book, Invisible Cities by Calvino. That book is full of a bunch of cities. I only want to talk about two of them today, but if that sounds something that's right up your alley, then hey, it's strange being back on here. And back on here, I mean my photo booth on my laptop because I like to record stages of my life, and the last stage was grad school, which ended in 2022. And so I just went in and deleted everything. You're wondering how I will be making hair charms. I just went to Michael's and I got the cutest charms that I saw. And I am using these little hair ties and I'm sticking them through the charm. And I'm sort of doing one, almost like if you were tying a balloon. I hope I'm doing this right. Oh, hey, that did nothing. Hey, that did nothing. I want to make a sort of knot where you go like this. You push it through and now it's a knot. Can you see? And I'm going to try to tie this in my hair some more so I can just have charms that are hanging, but we'll see if it'll work. So Invisible Cities is an interesting book because every single chapter is a different city. And they're really short. They vary between 1 to 3 pages. And I think Calvino is maybe trying to teach us something, or it's some sort of moral lesson that we're supposed to learn from these cities and how the people feel within these cities and how the people act within their cities. Okay, it's facing the wrong way, but it's pretty cool. One done. Let's make some more. There's this specific city that I don't know what I'm supposed to learn or if I'm reading too much into it, but there's a specific city where, okay, moral of the story, a lot of men are having the same dream. And the same dream involves them seeing a beautiful woman. And this beautiful woman, I think, has like long hair and is naked. And they just see her backside. And they're chasing her, and that they can never reach to her. They can never reach her because every time they get close, she turns a corner and they lose her. And so all of these men that are having this exact same dream decide to build a city. And the city that they build, they build it in mind. How do I say this? They build the city keeping... Hold on. How did I do this? How did I put the hair tie directly in a circle? How did I do that? Hold on. Hey, I'm scared. There's no way I could have possibly put it directly in a circle like that when I've... This is my good luck charm. I just did magic. I just did magic, because how did I do this? Where was it? Wow. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it right here. Okay. So these men all come together and I can't remember the story that well. I probably should have read it, but I'm just going to say what I remember. They start sharing their stories, I think, and they start building the city, keeping in mind all the corners that she turned where they lost her. So they start enclosing the city like that way. Oh, if she makes a turn here and we lost her here, let's make sure we close off that corner so when she turns, she'll get stuck. And at the end, they realize that they caged themselves in. What does that mean? What does that mean? And part of me is like, okay, what does that teach me about myself? Am I chasing something too tightly? Am I trying to control something too tightly that I cage myself in? Or is this something bigger than me and it's about men and their weird obsession with women? Is it, everything is feminist at the end of the day, everything is feminist. But I think in terms of me reading it in my own home and I have to come up with an interpretation if I don't look at it, if I recognize that it's feminist, but I'm also trying to figure out like a personal way to look at it, what does this mean? And I don't know. To make yourself stuck in a city that you create. But it also wasn't just your your doing, it was everyone else's doing who had the exact same dream and came together to work on a bigger goal. And this is so weird, but I started reading the Bible. I started reading it so I can have conversations with my mom and have something to talk about, but also reading it based off of just strict curiosity. Like, I cannot get this in. Strict curiosity of what's even in there. And this story with Invisible Cities almost reminded me of what was it called? The Tower of Babel, where everyone is working toward a common goal. I think it's, and I just read it too. I just finished Leviticus. Also, I hope it's not blasphemous. Boring. If you're looking for someone that knows how to build a tabernacle, I'm your girl. But the Tower of Babel involved people who wanted to build a tower to the heavens, if I'm correct. And they're working together. And God sees this, doesn't like it, and like disperses the people and places them in different places and makes them speak different languages, so now they can't communicate. And I never understood that because they're working towards a common goal. Is that not good? Why was that bad? And then people like to use that as some sort of explanation of where language came from. But I don't know. It just made me a little bit angry with God. Because everything could have been so chill. We all could have worked together for a common purpose. Anyways, that's what this felt like to me. Everyone's working together for a common purpose. And while it's like kind of like scary and evil, like you're trying, like ultimately they were trying to trap this woman to what, have her? Do things to her? It's not something as holy as building a tower to reach heaven. We're building a city to entrap this woman so we can all basically have her. But it reminded me of this, and it's like, okay, he dispersed people, and everyone speaks a different language. And in Calvino's story, the men get trapped in their own doing. What does this mean? What does this mean when you have multiple people working towards a common goal? But that's also not what it is. And so I keep going back and forth with this story and what it teaches me, and the fact that the woman is naked, and the fact that you only see the woman's backside. Why do we never see her directly in her face? And then it reminds me of God. Why we never see God directly in her face? Like, is everything biblical? Is everything feminist? Maybe. Ooh, I'm doing blue. Also, these are coming out so fun. I'm doing blue. And so I've been thinking about that one. And I feel ever since I read Invisible Cities, and I'm rereading it now, but I'm also rereading it in Spanish, which, hey, thought I could speak Spanish. No, I can't. I am realizing that is the one story that sticks to me. And I think it's I think it's a sad story. I do. I think it's sad. Like these men and their greed and, hello? I opened up my music tab. These men and their greed, it's sickening, but it's also sad. And what if I put 2 charms on the same strand of hair? No, that's too much. What if I put it here? I'll put it in this one. I don't even remember what I was saying. Men and their greed and men and their greed. I don't know. I don't know what the point of anything is. Okay, the second story. The second story has to do... it's my favorite one. I do love the one with the woman, and I think that one is really thought-provoking. Oh my gosh, but there's this other one that it makes me want to cry, and I don't really get it either. Oh, that's so pretty. I want some more on the sides, but my hair is so frizzy over here. My hair feels kind of flat over here. I'm thinking more hearts. I'll probably do another red. So I have red here, and I'll put another red over here. Oh, let me find it. I'm going to find the one that I really liked. So look at the gift my coworker got me. It's an embosser. So it has my name on it. Hold on. I think it's page 127. Yes. It's just this page. It's literally just, this is a whole nother city. And there's this city called Thekla. I actually want to read it. You can keep doing hair terms and I'll read it to you. And then you like get the cogs turning in your brain. Those who arrive at Thekla can see little of the city, beyond the plank fences, the sackcloth screens, the scaffoldings, the metal armatures, the wooden catwalks hanging from ropes, or supported by sawhorses, the ladders, the trestles. So immediately, that opening sentence, that's all one sentence. And it's about how those who arrive at Thekla see it under construction. Everything else that they describe are like metal beams and things that are sticking out of things and other things. It's all under construction. If you ask, why is Thekla's construction taking such a long time? The inhabitants continue hoisting sacks, lowering leaded strings, moving long brushes up and down as they answer, so that its destruction cannot begin. And if asked whether they fear that, once the scaffoldings are removed, the city may begin to crumble and fall to pieces, they add hastily in a whisper, not only the city. I don't really get that part. If, dissatisfied with the answer, someone puts his eye to a crack in a fence, he sees cranes pulling up other cranes, scaffoldings that embrace other scaffoldings, beams that prop up other beams. What meaning does your construction have? He asks. What is the aim of a city under construction unless it is a city? Where is the plan you are following, the blueprint? We will show it to you as soon as the working day is over. We cannot interrupt our work now, they answer. Work stops at sunset. Darkness falls over the building site. The sky is filled with stars. There is the blueprint, they say. My front cover is inspired by that. The sky being the blueprint, but also something never being finished, something always being under construction. And I feel like people say that a lot. People are always like, just start, you can make it pretty later. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. They're making something, they're starting now. But what does it mean when you keep fixing yourself? And I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like I'm Thekla. I feel like I'm always under construction. I feel like I will never be finished. I don't think anyone will ever be finished. We grow and we evolve and we change, and opinions we had then are not true now. And are we not all always under construction? So, and I immediately try to think, like, who's the bad guy in the situation, right? Is it the people building the city who are never going to stop building the city? Or is it that man that comes in and asks, what is the point of a city? What is the point of construction if it's not to have a city? And at first I thought it was the people. Right? I'm like, why do they keep building this thing? Like, stop being scared of your creation. Like, it's done. Just accept it. Just build it as it is and leave it as it is and enjoy it as it is. Like, stop building. And so now, reading it again almost just now, no, I think they're right. I mean, they do have a fear of their city falling to pieces, a city that they work so hard to build. But yeah, things, I don't know. And again, I'm taking the lens of trying to apply it to myself. What does this mean? What does this mean for me? What does this mean as someone who constantly feels like they're under construction? And what peace I feel knowing that I look up at the stars and that is the blueprint. Because the sky is always changing. I don't want to say the sky is always under construction. I think the sky is finished. Because then, again, is this biblical? The sky is finished. To say that the sky is under construction is to admit that God what? He didn't fail. But that God isn't done, even though he said in the Bible, and then there was night, and then it was, and now it's over, right? Like, now we have night, and with the night came the stars. But it's always changing. But, like, I get that we're, like, rotating. I don't know the science behind anything. Okay, but I can go outside and the same sky I saw yesterday is not the same sky I see today, even though it is. But the stars are not the same. Because the stars are always changing, therefore the sky being my blueprint means it's okay for me to change. And I don't know, I can't forget that. I can't get that out of my mind. And I do, like, at night when I look up at the stars and I see that they're different, it's like, If they could be different, I could be different. But I don't know what any of this means. Ever. I just read it and hope. I get hit with an epiphany along the lines, and sometimes I'll be working, or I'll be washing a dish, and a new interpretation will hit me, and I'll be standing there like, oh, hey, what I thought last week is actually not what I think now. And according to Thecla, is that okay? I think that's why it's hard for me to accept anything, because I keep going back and forth with, is it okay to be under construction? Yes. Is it okay to be under construction? No, just finish the frickin' city. Stop living under construction. Oh. I'm gonna see if I wrote anything down in the side notes. What did I think back then? Oh, nothing. I thought nothing back then. Oh. I thought nothing back then. But those were the two I kind of wanted to get into. I'm sorry, I've also been making the charms down here, so you've just been hearing me talk and not seeing any charms, really. But this is super fun to make. And it's really easy and pretty to put in your hair. Sometimes they fit backwards, though. But it's okay, because we're always under construction. Are we? Is it okay to always be under construction? You know, that's the question I think I'm grappling with. Ugh, I'm still trying to figure out how the heck I went in perfectly for the other one. But look at this. I'm thinking somewhere like far. No, actually. Ooh, somewhere at the bottom could be really pretty. So I guess I leave us with that question. Is it okay for us to be under construction? I think it is. But that passage sometimes makes me feel like it's not. But then I also get confirmation from the stars that maybe it is okay. And then I can't stop thinking about that naked woman. Oh, my gosh. This one I tied it kind of bad. But if I turn it the right way, it looks pretty awesome. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this little segment of charms and talking. Charms and chat. And I hope that you have fun putting stuff in your hair. Oh, and then, again, this is a book in case you're ever curious about it.